when you look at pictures of you as teenagers, it seems, how do I put this, so unlikely that success will play any part in your life. Now, unbelievably, this is Dwayne in high school. Wow. You look 36 years old.
I know. You've gotten younger. And it's my porn mustache, I think, that gives it away.
Look at that. But did everyone think you were a teacher?
No, and this is a true story, because I moved around a lot following my dad, and every new school, especially when I turned 14, 15, 16, during this time, everyone thought I was an undercover cop. So I would go into these high schools. I've switched high schools 4 times throughout my high school years, and they thought I was an undercover cop. They thought I was a narc. I didn't have a lot of friends. No play with the ladies. Wow. I know.
No, I don't believe it. You must have. Come on.
Yeah. I was killing them.
Really, but look at that sideburn. You know, that sideburn is very high. You went with a high sideburn.
Well, by the way...
It's sort of like a Grace Jones haircut.
I was trying to think too. That's right.
Jeff, this sideburn is only because I just started to learn how to shave.
Oh.
Look how high it is.
Yeah. You love shaving.
I just didn't know what I was doing, yeah.
Now, the next picture, this is incredible. So there he is, Hollywood heartthrob, sex symbol, glamour's sexiest man in the world.
Wow.
Who could have guessed? Who could have guessed looking at this?
Oh, I'm glad I saw that.
That moment where I should probably smile with teeth.
No, have you had a mouth reduction since then? I mean, it's most of your... You look like a hinged person.
It's a lot. It's a lot, right there.
I felt like I was a pretty cool kid in high school, too.
How old were you there?
No, it was probably 2 years ago.
And you had that thing that a lot of people, I think, have that embarrassment of that their parent is a teacher in the school. But you took that embarrassment and you took it to a different level with your mom as a teacher.
Yeah, I had my mum for personal development / sex education.
See, that's terrible. You should have been excused that class.
Learnt a lot. She's a wise woman. No, I remember it coming up and they're like, yeah, you're going to have your mum for a sex education. And then the first class we had together, she handed out these cards to everyone that had some form of sexually transmitted disease. And for whatever reason, she felt the need to pick me first and stand up. And she said, Liam, what do you have? And I said, well, Mum, I have chlamydia. Thanks for this. This is awesome.
And Jeff Goldblum, you look beautiful. You look lovely. You look like a very sensitive young man. Here he is.
Oh, God.
There's poetry. There was a beat poetry going on.
Really? Oh, thank you.
How old are you there?
Oh, I don't know. Geez, this is, I don't know. You know, that's middle school, as they call it. Junior high school. What am I, 15 or 14?
Wow. Because you look so young. But you have been a big movie star for like 30 years. It's just crazy. But you are one of those strange stars that people kind of get obsessed by. And the internet... the internet loves Jeff Goldblum. Yeah. So many things of yours have hit the internet and then just taken off. Like this I think this was the first one that became a thing. Yeah. The Jeff Goldblum is watching you poop.
Have you seen that? I know I became aware of that. I don't know how they
Well, I think they did, but you print it off and then you put it on bathroom stall doors.
Yes.
Which I'm tempted to do it. It's good. It's a very good look as well. And then, of course, because your name is Goldblum, people have turned you into flowers. There are literally hundreds of these.
Oh, I've only seen one. I haven't seen any, but...
Oh, OK. Well, have you seen this one? There you are on a sunflower.
Oh, no, I have not seen that one. That's crazy.
There's Jeff as a daisy. There you are. But this is my favourite. This is Jeff Dandelion. There's one picture from Jurassic Park, quite a sexy shot of Mr. Goldblum. Yeah. There it is. And this has been... People latched onto this picture. Do you know this, right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
So this has been turned into an oil painting. How beautiful is that? That's cool. It's been turned into a cartoon, complete with Barney.
Back rub, yeah.
And then this is the one that people really like. They've taken Sam Neill from when he's kind of rubbing the dinosaur-y thing and put him in there.
That's my favourite. That's my favourite.
You can get they have as a video, you know, so you see me breathing and he's going up and down.
A lady called Beatrix on Twitter tweeted Sam Neill to say, "Hey, are you aware of this? It is excellent." To which you replied, "I am. It is stomach churning."
I love Sam Neill. Hi, Sam Neill. I haven't seen him in years. I'd love to run into him.
Well, he's lying on your belly in some virtual world. February the 14th, Valentine's Day. Olivia Colman, what will you be doing on Valentine's Day?
Oh. Is this about the film?
Yes.
I'll be watching a film.
Your film comes out on February the 14th.
No, I know.
Oh, my God, it's like pulling teeth.
Wait, because I thought you meant... Because the premiere's before that, so I won't actually be watching it on that day. I thought you meant, what will I be doing? And I was thinking, I don't know if I want to
but
tell
only
you.
as a bit of whimsy into
I see.
saying, well, I'll be sitting with millions of others in a cinema watching my new film, Cuban Fury.
So sorry. I see what you did now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, this is Cuban Fury, a new British comedy with yourself and Nick Frost and...
Yeah, I'm not on the poster.
Chris O'Dowd. Isn't that... Oh, no, that isn't you. But it could be you with the leg in the air. Yeah. Now, I could safely say, ladies and gentlemen, without fear of contradiction, it is the best British-based salsa rom-com I have ever seen. That can go on the poster. Yeah, for sure. No, it's a really funny, sweet film.
It is a lovely film.
Now, Ed, who are you?
I can't actually remember the name of my character, but I... It was a while ago.
Do you dance a lot, though?
Yes, thank you for saving me. I do. In that. Nick Frost is the lead guy, and he, as a child... Oh, no, I'm his sister. That's it, I'm his sister. And...
I'll remember.
Thank you. And as children, he was salsa champion, endless cups and awards and things, and we used to go off and do competitions, and I was his dance partner, and then something happened, and his life changed, and salsa wasn't for him after that moment. And then cut to Nick Frost, present day, or whatever his character's called, and... Bruce! He's called Bruce! Poor Bruce.
I can't believe people are applauding you for remembering the names of people in your own film.
It was ages ago. You know this feeling. You film something...
Nelson Mandela. I play this bloke.
OK, so you play... He's a dancer.
So who's that?
Yeah.
And, for the film. So he falls in love with Rashida Jones. Got the name.
That's Quincy Jones' daughter, right?
Yes.
Yes, she's beautiful.
She really is beautiful.
And she's lovely. And he discovers that... Am I giving away the plot?
Yes,
Cut out anything.
I think maybe you've told us enough now. I'm going to shut you down.
He dances again.
Yes.
And
but
he's
so
amazing.
do you. So do you.
Yes.
And I know we know you're not in big preparation, but you must have had some dance lessons.
We had to. I was forced to because I had to dance on screen, so I had to practice.
Do you look good though?
Well, there is, as you know, they have people who actually can dance.
Yeah.
Who, because I can only spin 3 times before I vomit. So.
Well, we do have a picture of you in rehearsals where it doesn't look like it's going that well.
That's the best thing I've ever seen. I also love that you're wearing like a full sweatsuit and heels.
There's Christian Elbertons as well. Wow.
No, I think that's a glow of a heater or something. No,
But did you get good? Did you get good?
Well, I don't know. What the choreographer would probably be laughing. I got much better.
Show us a move.
Then.
Go on, one
No,
move.
don't make me do that. Get naked.
Last year, castmates, Bill Murray, Matt Damon, and Hugh Bonneville come on the show.
Yes.
And they left the premiere, I left them drunk. And they got here, and they got drunker. And I've never seen a television show like that in my life.
We never had one like that before. Because they arrived drunk and they got drunker. By the end, it was like, I'm really glad the show's over now.
They were throwing fruit at the audience.
Bill Murray threw a whole pineapple into the audience. It could have ended badly.
That's like a challenge.
No, no.
What will you throw?
I'm going to throw Brit. We're going to throw Brit at the audience.
So, you're very welcome, all of you. And it's like George Clooney, I feel like the party can start. The party can start, George Clooney's here.
Yeah.
And thank you for using my whole name. Because I usually, you know, I like George Clooney.
We all like George Clooney.
I have a new couple of nephews who are like 7 years old who I've now married into, and they come up to me and they go, "Hey, George Clooney." Not Uncle George. I'm George Clooney.
I'm with them. George seems overfamiliar, so I'm just George.
No, anything. Sir George, I don't care. Anything.
Because everyone who works with you, they always say you make work fun. Is that?
I didn't say that.
You didn't
no,
say
no,
that.
I didn't say that.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. You said people. Actually, it sounds kind of annoying. You said people whistled on their way to work when George was on set.
Well, I whistled. Happily so. Yeah, no, he does. He's the man that. No, come on, you.
Let me just say, we had a lot of doctor talk between us.
We did.
There was a lot of.
I didn't understand any of it, but we did have it.
I was surprised you didn't remember. He didn't remember any of it. None of it.
No. He remembers whole reams of stuff, which from considerably longer ago, and I cannot remember any of it. I could remember it 10 minutes after I've said it.
So the gobbledygook about half a statin of blah, 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 you know all that.
What was that really long word that you would say?
Supraventricular tachyarrhythmia.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, I'll tell you this.
So good.
When we shot that scene, I did not get that word right. But I've never gotten it wrong since then. It was a horrifying experience. But I think that... how long did you do the show?
8 years.
8 years? Mm-hmm. And you don't remember any of it?
Nope. I tell you, the one thing I have carried over from then is when I do play another role now and a director says action, I start limping. I'm just like a sort of a dog who's had electrodes attached to him. I just start limping.
Default.
Did you ever switch canes just to
throw people?
Just throw people off?
Yes, I did.
You did?
I did. I switched canes, I switched limps. Nobody noticed.
No, they don't care. They don't care.
And, Britt, if you had to choose, I mean, I don't wish you ill, but if something bad did happen to you, if you were feeling a bit poorly...
Don't make her choose.
Between the doctors?
Yeah. Who would you go to? Would you go to Dr. House there?
Well, it depends on the illness, because you were great with, like, specialty issues, right? You would always find... You would figure out the
Yeah, it was
problem.
pigeon poo from Africa or something, always with him, yeah.
I don't remember. If you say so.
You were on a show called How.
You know this. No, I think because you would always look, you would look past the obvious choice, the obvious diagnosis. So I don't know. He may have a one-up on you.
Well, he does, because I was a pediatrician, so you're too old now.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're just a pass. I don't care.
This is the right choice for me, I think. Yeah.
Just keep pushing that gurney. She's not stopping here. I suppose your career, you were an actor and you were doing well. You were in things. You know, you had a career that lots of actors would have liked to have had. You know, being in TV shows and making a living.
Right. Well, later in my life, it took a long time to get there. I did a lot of very questionable jobs along
But they were
the way.
jobs.
Sure, yeah.
You know, and then, but then ER came along, and
everything changed.
Yeah, and I read in it you can pinpoint the moment when you sort of stopped being a jobbing actor, and
Yeah, there you go. That's a good look.
That was the moment.
I always love when they show that picture and then they cut back to you and they're like, oh.
Don't applaud that. Don't applaud that.
It's the truth. Because we were like this. No. Stop.
You look fine, sir. You look fine.
You're doing okay.
Yeah, I remember a moment, because, you know, there's a moment when, you know, getting famous is when they actually know your name. And I remember being in New York, I think, after, because, you know, the show came out and people forget about what the kind of numbers our show did. But in the United States, we had shows we did 45 million people watching. You know, now the biggest show will do 15 or 20, you know, 18 million people. We were averaging 35 and 40 million people. So it was overnight one of those just, everyone was just obsessed with the show. We were on the cover of Newsweek after about 2 weeks. So we'd gone from absolute obscurity, you know, no one knew who we were. In fact, we shot the pilot and the show was picked up, and we went across the street. There's a place called Smokehouse, which is a restaurant, to eat. It was like all the actors, Tony Edwards, Juliana Margulies, all of us. And we're dressed in our doctor schmucks because we're doing a show. But the show hasn't been on the air yet. And Tony has a little baby boy who he gives a French fry to, and he starts like to choke on the French fry. And now you've got 6 actors, not and we're like, somebody do something! And everybody in the restaurant's like, do something! What's wrong with you people?
Yeah, never go to that hospital.
No. That's a terrible hospital right there.
I know, it's good, right? It's good. It's a good one. They might just clap for 45 minutes. It's good. You're very, very welcome. And you've all just come from the premiere of your film, Monuments Men.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a
That's why
bang.
we're drinking champagne. We have
to
champagne.
celebrate. Yes. Yeah. In fact, now, why is yours not in a champagne glass, Hugh? Do you want people to think, oh, I'm just a man of the people, simple white wine from me?
No, I just like drinking more than anyone else at one time.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Let's get started if we... Yeah.
Hey. Thank you. We can do it. Ready?
Cheers.
Cheers. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, he did! Wow, we're wimps. Wow!
Don't do this at home. Don't do this at home.
God!
That ginger ale is crazy.
Now you should just ask us really personal questions.
And actually, now, because there's a big crowd down in Leicester Square, and I just went out, Matt, it's so odd, but people confuse you. They don't always know that you're Matt Damon.
I get confused with Mark Wahlberg all the time. All the time. It literally happened. It happened last week. I was in New York and I was taking my kids to the park, and this guy at the subway, I walked by him and he goes, "Mark Wahlberg!" And I kept walking, you know. And we were downtown. I was going to Washington Square Park. I'm on Broadway. And he's like, "I see you, Mark Wahlberg!" And he might have been a little drunk. Yeah, hello. But it was one of those things where he wasn't going to let it go. And I'm holding 2 of my kids' hands. It's, you know, and it's just, you know, "Mark, don't turn around, Mark. We all know it's you." And I don't turn around because I'm not Mark Wahlberg. But now everybody's looking, and so I turn the corner with the kids to get around the corner, and he comes running around the corner, and he comes up to me, and he goes, you know, "Come on, turn around! You got to turn around!" And so I turn around, and the kids are totally confused, and I go, "How are you?" And he goes, "I'm good, man." And that's it, and that's all he wanted. He wanted me to just acknowledge that I was Mark Wahlberg. And another woman comes running up and says, "I love your work, and I love your brother's work as well." So I said, "I will be sure to tell Donnie Wahlberg." And that was the extent of my interaction.
But it happens to him, too, because somebody posted this. I screamed Matt Damon. He didn't correct us at all.
Mark and I talked about it years ago, and because it was happening to us all the time, and so we have a deal, and the deal is just, if you're mistaken for the other guy, you have to be extremely polite. I can't ruin his name, so when I'm Mark Wahlberg, I have to be on my best behavior.
Well, I promise not to confuse you with Mark Wahlberg tonight.
You're great.
Unless you sit in my lap and play with my nipples. Hugh, you get confused as well, not with Mark Wahlberg, but who do you get confused with?
Well, in the old days when I had cheekbones, it was Colin Firth. And then... oh, there we are, you see. And then, latterly, Paul Burrell, the former butler.
Tell us who that is. It's funny. We don't know who the hell that is.
You're lucky. He was what was he? Diana's butler or something?
He was the butler.
Oh, the butler. Oh,
yeah,
right, of course.
And I was chased across Sloane Square once by a paparazzo who refused to believe that I wasn't him. Come on, Paul, come on. Just one. Oh, you know, you're my favourite butler.
Now, Bill Murray, it's delightful to have you on. And maybe this is wrong. I'm told you've never done a British talk show before.
Well, I think I did one, but the guy was actually Irish.
Oh.
So technically, I mean, I took. There was people running after me the next day, going, "Hey, Mark Wahlberg, that guy you were on with was Irish."
But you said to me his name was. Do you know a guy called Terry Wogan?
The Wogan.
The Wogan.
Yes. Was there? There's a man named Wogan.
He's still going.
He's still going.
He's still going.
I
That
was
was
on
the
the
guy.
Wogan show. For like a week, people were like, "I saw you on the Wogan show." I did, but he was a nice fella. That's the guy that's Irish.
Yeah. Yeah.
The guy.
I should probably point out I'm
So
Irish
my
too.
record was-
I'm Irish as well.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh,
I know you are. I think you play golf there all the time. Yeah.
you know, it's people like us that are turning this country around.
Talking of finger injuries, we were going through pictures. Before the show, and we found this picture.
Oh, you found my pinky? Oh, don't show it.
No, this is.
No, it's
we
not
have
nice.
to see this. This
It's
is
not
amazing.
nice. It's not nice.
It looks like Meryl Streep has just gone. Tell me I did a backward accent. She's just like, look at that. She's like, what did you do?
I had it rebuilt. I had injured it so many times playing football, American football.
that
It's this
one.
one, yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's fine now. But it's like a gummy bear in there, like a little piece of rubber candy something.
So what was that thing?
I went up for a pass playing American football and dislocated it. And it's happened so many times over the years that if I just open my hand like that, it would pop that far. Oh,
But did people like in films? Did they have to like shoot around it?
No, I'm constantly. You can probably see me in other films just going, yeah. That way. And I was always fixing it. When my kids were young, they would ask me, "Daddy, could you show my friends the magic finger?" Doesn't sound right, does it? Wait a minute. No, you went there. I didn't go there. You went there. No, I didn't. So I would like do like this, and I'd do like this, and then they'd run.
That clip gives you some idea of the way it's made, because it's all one take, essentially.
Right.
And that one isn't even that complicated. I mean, some of them are like big, long tracking shots. And there's a scene which is the stuff of nightmares, but you actually had to do it.
Yes.
Where you walk through Times Square just in your underpants.
Yes.
And presumably, I mean, it really is Times Square, and those are real people.
Yes. And real underpants.
Yeah.
And really you. Yeah.
In fact, there's no acting involved at all.
No,
It's-
no. No, they were stunt underpants.
When you were going through Times Square, did you meet a Beetlejuice fan?
Oh, yeah. This is tremendous. What happened was, I think it was the last shot of the film, and we're shooting, well into the morning, and one of the guys on the crew says, "Michael, come here." And there's a guy standing there. Like this, really bored, who had been on his way somewhere to his job or home from his job to see his girlfriend or someone or something, do something, I don't know what it was. So the guy grabbed him and brought him over. He said, there's a guy standing there, and the crew guy says, "Show him." He rolls his sleeve up like this, on flesh, an unbelievably well-detailed and really beautiful tattoo of Beetlejuice.
Actually, I
Starting here.
think we've got a picture. I think somebody took a picture of
yeah.
it. There's the actual...
Yeah, look how good that is.
Look at that. It's amazing.
Isn't it? It's extraordinary. And I go, holy moly, this is extraordinary. I'm looking at it, I'm going, well, I'm asking him all these questions, and he's just standing there looking, and then I finish, and he says, "You done?" And he goes like this. He rolls his sleeve down and goes over and gets back up on his bike and keeps on going. He never put the two together. He never went, "Oh my God, there, here you are." Never didn't
I like to think, like, 3 blocks down the corner and go, wait a minute. Good, very good. See, and...
I've been waiting for a moment to wear this.
Tonight was the night.
We bought it today, and they don't come in men's sizes.
They actually do. They're available at any decent store in men's size.
Now, have you got... Obviously, you're a fan of the One Direction, I can see. But has One Direction met Ian McKellen? Is Ian McKellen One Direction before?
I thought he'd have a bigger beard.
You let down. Yeah. No, but didn't you come close to meeting in New Zealand?
We did.
Yeah, we were on tour in New Zealand, and they were filming.
Yes.
And you were meant to come and see us filming
Yeah.
the day after your final concert. So I thought I'd go and have a look at them, see who they are. Yeah. Very enjoyable, thank you.
Thank you.
It was a very
He's
small...
a wizard, so I think he wins.
It was a very small show. I mean, it was just you, no fireworks or anything, but and quite a small theatre. Do you remember? Cinema.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Anyway, they didn't turn up the next day to visit us because why? I don't know. Why? What had happened on your last night?
I think we. I don't know.
I don't think.
I mean, maybe. We're on the water tonight, though, so we're safe.
Yeah, your plane might have been moved early or something. Yeah. Now, Ian McKellen, because I saw the pictures of you all at the premiere on Monday night.
Oh, yes.
And, I mean, it's been part of your life for nigh on 14 years now.
Know.
So it was that an emotional night, or were the emotions happened already?
Yeah, well, it's over. You know, we've not been working on The Hobbit for some time now, but it was very moving. I mean, you go, and these kids have been sleeping out all night. Well, you know about this, but the
So didn't get in.
We did. We're all homeless.
These people were not born when we started making Lord of the Rings, you know. So it's a big part of their lives, and that's very, very sweet, isn't it? And they'll be able to see all 6 movies now and show them to their kids. God, and that's what's nice. We've made classics. That's lovely.
And also, it will take nearly a day to watch it. So...
But it can be done.
Have you done it?
Yeah, I think I did it. I was off school ill once. I think I did with my friend. I think we watched them.
But all
I mean, we might have watched 1 or 2.
3 or...
You're amazing.
Right answer.
So are you.
You won the Oscar for Good Will Hunting, and he has a kind of particular take on it. And
I don't look very happy in that particular photograph. I
You don't
assure
look
you I
thrilled.
was.
He looks
Matt
thrilled.
looks drunk.
But looking back, do you kind of rejoice that you had that amazing success so early on, or does a bit of you kind of not regret it, but sort of, I don't know, think it was a bit of a curse?
I mean, I don't think it was a curse, but I couldn't really appreciate it. I mean, it was very hallucinatory. It was like, I don't know if you've ever been in a traffic accident, but there's that moment where you go, oh my God, I'm gonna crash into this wall over here. You know, everything sort of slows down and you're spinning around. That was how it kind of felt. They said our names and I sort of looked at Matt and was like, should we get up? And we get up and there's, you know, people are clapping, you know, and there was Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau presented it to us, and, you know, Billy Crystal was hosting and he was going, Matt and Ben, and, you know, I was 24 years old. I mean, I barely knew anything at all. And it was, you know, I mean, I think it was in some ways trouble to get that much attention that young, and I really didn't have any perspective on it at all. It was a wonderful honor, but it was, you know, I certainly appreciated later on much more what it meant.
And was there a kind of thing where people thought you were that character?
Yeah, I think people thought that Matt was the math genius and then I was his sort of dim-witted friend he dragged along from home. You know what I mean? They were like, you give him an Oscar too. Great guy. You know? And that stayed with me for a while. You're all right too. You can go ahead. You know.
So being back at the Oscar podium for Argo, that must have been such a kind of what a satisfying.
Hopefully,
moment.
no one thought I was a dim-witted friend. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, no, that was it was much more satisfying, and I had been through so much stuff, so many ups and downs, and humiliations, and highs and lows, and you know, at that point, I had 3 children, and I had built a whole life, and it felt like something that was much more. I appreciated it, and I really felt like. I also knew what it meant and what it didn't mean, you know what I mean, and that what was important about it and what wasn't, and it was a really nice night, and I got to share it with people that I really loved, and it was probably a much more healthy experience.
And you know, I suppose our parents try to stop us. Like, for instance, how old is your daughter now?
Melissa's 34.
And do you still try to advise her?
Oh yeah, and she doesn't listen. Well, she's 30 and she's single again. We'll talk later.
Oh, good.
And, I say things to her like, you know, marry a transvestite, you'll double your wardrobe. Watch Anna Nicole Smith, the smartest white woman in the history of America, to marry that old pig and have him die. Oh, how lucky. Oh, excuse me. No, it was a love match. He was 197. Yeah, crazy love.
Joan Rivers, you are fearless.
Wow.
Old men nowadays can marry young women because they have Viagra Plus.
Yes, thank God.
Oh, it's the worst thing in the world.
I don't need it.
They have these erections for 36 hours now. Yeah, there's poor old dry wives in and out. They're going to set them on fire. I mean, it's terrible.
You can slam the door on the damn things and they still don't go down. I've heard.
Yeah, I've never taken Viagra yet.
Yeah, oh, no, but it's... well, sex with older people is just pathetic. You know, I go out with these old men, and when they orgasm, they call out their nurse's name. I mean, it's just... awful. And for a woman, you know, and I still like sex even at this age. One, I like a man on top of me, and two, it's a bone density test. And it's just, you get up, nothing's broken. Oh, this is great. God bless that calcium, you know.
Okay. We've got some celebrity items, some beautiful celebrity items, and I've got Joan Rivers and Julian Pamar to help me. So basically, we're going to give you a minute to sell as many of these as you can. Just pitch them.
Okay.
Just pitch them and move on. So let me start with the first one.
Yes. Okay. This is a Britney Spears shaving kit.
For anybody out there that has 2 children that you want to have taken away from you, this is the easiest way to do it. Easiest way to do it.
See, that one was sold.
Sold. Okay, next item.
Okay.
Oh!
This
That's
is
fabulous.
Heather Mills' divorce plate.
Yeah. And... end of that.
Okay, this is VIP tickets to see Daniel Radcliffe on stage in Equus.
Oh, I saw this. Don't bother.
Throw them away as well.
The ticket is the biggest thing you're going to see there.
Okay, next.
George
W. Bush limited edition. This is not serious. You can't be selling this kind of stuff. Oh, they're George W. Bush cowboy boots.
And look how clean they are because...
Look how small they are.
Yeah,
They're yours, so you're a seller.
Tony Blair has been licking these, so they are very...
Next item. What's next?
David Beckham framed photograph.
That's what that is.
And it's obviously not signed because there's no X anywhere on it, so it's just... His wife's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah? L. Ron Hubbard's Book of Scientology.
Now, this is terrific for those of you out there because you put the book on the floor, just like Tom did, and you can kiss Katie. Perfect.
Oh, that's it. It's official. Joan Rivers can sell anything. That bit at the end, when you're doing that lovely thing and you're looking into each other's eyes, were you on a box or something? Because that's... Or were you in a hole?
Well, I was mainly cast because I can make anyone look huge.
That's right.
They stand next to me.
4'3".
I'm just extraordinarily short. But yeah, they usually had some sort of ramp that I would like walk up and land somewhere near his face.
That's true, yeah.
Should we stand up and show it? Yeah. And I have like very high heels on right now.
I have like my Thor heels.
Are you the Thor heel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
You know.
That's actually quite a high ramp.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of, you know.
A steep incline.
Yeah.
Now, listen, of course, with great action hero roles come great action figures, ladies and gentlemen. And we've got some here. Here, oh no, you've dropped your hammer. So, there's yours. Have you seen this yet?
Not that particular one, but the likeness is incredible.
It is uncanny, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen?
That's the
you
slightly sedated version, isn't it?
And then you do an odd thing. You press you here and you talk.
How about me? Lightning shall strike you down.
I'll strike you down.
He's angry. So there's you, and then we'll just get Natalie's action figure. Here she is. Now they are almost.
Where's the ramp? Exactly,
Yeah.
where's the ramp?
Children would have hours fun playing with those.
They're going to have a great time.
What are you doing with those dolls?
That's not a hammer.
But you look a bit distraught. I look at your hat, you're just like... Wow. Hey, but you're not the only two people to be dolls.
No?
No. Now, look, it's not quite an action figure, but it is.
Just like it.
Now, I think all the work went into the face, not so much into the outfit.
No.
It does look like...
It's him on just an off day.
Yeah. It's like care in the community, really. We've dressed him.
It's Paul McCartney just pottering around home base.
And packaging not great. It's in a sort of Ziploc, but there's a nice sensible shoe. If you're driving a long distance, it's a nice soft.
Is it a for sale doll?
I think we bought it, didn't we? Yeah, we bought it. It's a lady who makes them.
No, it's a little sideline of my Auntie Valerie. Hence
Spread the happiness around. Listen, Tom Hanks, sir. You seem to be spending a lot of time here. Do you kind of live here now?
I've been here enough, working with Band of Brothers, which featured Mr. Simon Pegg, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
So I got enough haunts to go. I know where to avoid the fist fights, and we're going to go have some fist fights.
Well, but we saw you. You went to the dinner with the Queen and
I was with the Queen and the President just last week, yes. For an American, I kept trying to figure out why am I here? Did I win a ticket? Is this Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Excuse me, lady, do you run this place? There we are. We were off, and there's my white tie and tails.
You look very smart.
That is not a rental, by the way. They had a powder blue one. I said, let me go with the traditional black. But then we got there, and it turned out it's a very surprisingly informal. They get it, everybody who works there just kind of smiles and points you in the direction. And everybody says, hello, I'm Julie, I'm Simon, hello, nice to see you. What do you do? Well, I'm the Duchess of Westmoreland. And what do you do? Well, I run British Intelligence, how are you? And everybody's, it's kind of like on a first-name basis.
Did you meet her?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, indeed.
And chitty-chat, or...?
I talked about doing Shakespeare when I was, that was how I got my start in the United States, doing Shakespeare. And we compared notes on that. She did say this, we love to go to the theater. I'm not going to do an imitation of the Queen. So if I fall into that, you cut it. You cut it. Take it out of the show. And she said, we love going to the theater. And my sister, we love to go to the theater. And my sister could go to the theater and hear a song once and then come home. And I said, play it on the piano? And she said, yes. My moment with Her Majesty, who used to call Her Majesty first, and then you call ma'am.
But now, weirdly, there's been a lot of that, because you've met the Queen, Simon, haven't you?
I did. I met her recently, yeah. I met her at the Narnia premiere, and she... I thought I broke her, to be honest. The Queen has never had to worry about the awkwardness of starting a conversation. She's never had an embarrassing pause, because she always must speak first. So she takes as much time as she wants to do that. So she came up to me. I was standing next to young Joe McKeldry, the X Factor winner. Oh. And she said, "And you're a musician?" to him. Well, someone whispered that he was in her ear. And then she came up to me and she went... And I was just waiting for her to speak, and I swear it was like 30 seconds, and I started to bead sweat. And then she just went, "And what do you do?" Like that, and I almost hugged her, because I thought, thank God, you're still with us. And then...
You learned to speak French to meet boys, is that right?
Yes, I did, yes. There were some very...
It seems unlikely for Southend that you would meet...
Well, I know, it was these sad, wonderful Parisian students would come. They obviously were looked on the map, and they saw this seaside resort very close to London, and they thought, Saint-Tropez, only 40 miles away from London, it's like Paris, Saint-Tropez. That's obviously what it's like. Because they arrive and it's Southend-on-Sea. You know?
Which is lovely.
Which is lovely. But it's not Saint-Tropez. So, but there was always this coterie of French students who'd come to learn English, and I was a complete Francophile. You know, I just thought everything French was just so cool and smart and elegant and everything. And so I was desperate to get a French boyfriend.
But you did?
And I did, Jean-Louis, who I still know.
I love you say Jean-Louis as if we know him.
Well, thanks to the internet, brilliantly, the brilliant, wonderful internet, very recently, I thought, I wonder where Jean-Louis is. I wonder if I'll ever find him. I Googled him, bang! He came up immediately. I sent him an email, and within 24 hours, I was back in touch with him. It's amazing.
And Jean-Louis...
This is 40 years later.
And Jean-Louis figured out that first girlfriend was now Oscar-winning actress Helen Mirren.
Yes, he had.
Had he?
Yes, he had. Yeah, yes,
Your husband's cool with you just Googling your ex-boyfriends. Your saucy French ex-boyfriends.
And he wasn't very saucy, no. He was very, very well behaved and Catholic and... No, not...
He didn't last the course. Because, Emily, you're fluent in the French as well, aren't you?
Absolutely not.
Oh, I thought you were fluent in French.
No, not fluent. I mean, I did it at school. I did A-level French, but I'd since gone out the window. But I get really nervous speaking French, and I actually used to have a stutter when I was a kid, and it's still the way that I still stutter when I have to speak French.
It comes out when you
it comes out when I try to speak French. Yeah.
How weird.
Yeah. All right, well, let's not...
I've seen the King's Speech.
Very authentic portrayal. That was me.
Very brilliant.
I was Colin Firth.
But in French.
But in French, yeah. We went to Paris for New Year once, and you know, my now husband and our two friends were like, go on and find us a taxi, because we need to get to this place. I said, oh, God, please don't make me, please don't make me. And I hadn't had the guts to tell them, actually. I do still stutter. And they were like, go on, please. And so I went to the guy at the front desk. I was like, I could say everything apart from the word taxi, apparently. So I went, est-ce que je peux avoir une... And he went, taxi? And I went, yes! And he went, taxi. He's Simon English, Simon French. It was awful. It was horrible. Never again, that's it.
Babe, you were the mother in Babe, the dog mother.
I was in Happy Feet.
Who were you in Happy Feet?
I can't remember. Was I Tamara?
Did you play a penguin?
I don't know. I never saw it, you see. I don't know what it was.
Everyone was a penguin.
Everybody was a penguin.
You didn't do much research for your character.
No, I didn't.
You forgot to sound cold.
Yeah. I wish you'd told me that when I
You thought all that flapping was psychological.
Yeah. And I did Flushed Away.
Oh, yes. Who were you in Flushed Away?
I don't know what I was in that either.
It was great, Flushed Away, though.
A piece of shit, I should think.
Talking of that, tell us the story about when you went to Martin Jarvis's house.
Oh, it's so embarrassing. That I hope this is not going to offend people. Actually, I hope it is. But I know it sounds as if I just talk about nothing but shit, but I was dying to go to the lavatory. And I was invited to a lovely dinner party in Los Angeles, and it was Martin Jarvis, who's a dear friend, and his wife, the hosts, and Richard Harris's son, Jared, was there, whom I've not met before, and was rather keen.
Nice.
And he's lovely, and I was very excited about that. And so, you know, when I arrived, I said to Roz, Martin's wife, Roz, I'm dying to go to the lavatory. Can I go first, you know, and then I'll join the group, so to speak. So I flew into the loo, and I had this enormous shit, you know. And, you know, then I flushed the loo and washed my hands, and it didn't go down. It didn't go down, it wasn't going down. And then I made this terrible mistake. I flushed the loo again. And it not only didn't go down, it sort of bubbled up to meet me, you know. it was a horrific... I mean, it didn't... What I was afraid of was that it would surge over the bowl. You know...
And circle away. Here's Miriam now.
But the thing is, I'm such a coward. I didn't know what to do, so I backed out of the loo, closed the door, and I went in... And instead of saying, you know, how do you do? It's lovely to meet you. I've always wanted to meet you and all that sort of thing, I said, I've blocked the loo with my shit and I don't know what to do. That was my introduction to Gareth.
I don't know if you're aware that Margot, of course, started Neighbours, Ramsay Street. I know. Woo!
They actually know what that is.
I know what it is.
You don't know what it is. I don't want it.
No, because it was... I just forgot the name, but...
Someone asked him, do you know the name of the show that she started? And he's like, it starts with a C.
No, but...
Coronation Street.
No, I forgot the name of it, but I got the DVDs and everything at the house.
That is quite the box set.
All 300 and something episodes.
No, have you ever watched it? You must have seen clips of this.
Yes.
No, you haven't. You're such a liar.
I did. I was like, because they...
When did you watch Neighbours?
Me and Whatchacallit were watching them at the thing.
Terrible liar. Despite what the focus is about, you're actually a terrible liar.
David, did that hair bring you back?
Yeah, I've had a few. I've definitely had that look.
You have?
Really? Yeah.
Is that why they cut you from Norwich?
Here's the weird thing. I guess you're a man. Like, you're not Rachel from Friends. And yet, whatever you do to your hair, it becomes a thing.
Yeah, it does, believe it or not.
Yeah. So do you...
Some of them have been really bad.
So do you think ahead? Do you kind of go...
No, I don't. No, I don't. There's certain ones that I've just done just off the cuff.
So there's no shame in some of them. Before any of the hipsters were doing it...
I'm not ashamed of any of them.
Well, you should be ashamed of some of them. But before any of the hipsters were doing it, you had the top knot. There you go. Lovely. That's almost a practical thing.
That's not bad, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. This one... OK, what was going on here?
Yeah, that was maybe a bad decision.
Yeah.
It was a bad timing as well, because I was actually going to South Africa at the time with England, and I ended up meeting Nelson Mandela.
I know you did.
And the pictures that... So that's why I regret that.
There are other reasons, but we'll leave it there. And then the maddest one, the most on David Beckham look, I think, is this one. Because that doesn't seem like you at all. Big smiley face there.
No, well, I don't know why I had that one. I don't. I was asked to shave it off when I first did it. I was sat in the changing room and I had a hat on at the time because Sir Alex Ferguson hadn't seen it. So obviously that was interesting when I took my hat off, and we had an hour before the kick-off, and he said, go and shave it off.
Really?
Which I said no at first, and then I saw his face change very quickly, so I went and shaved it off in the toilet.
Oh. So Alex Ferguson would actually be sort of strict on that stuff?
Very.
Really?
Very, yeah.
Wow. What did he expect?
It was just it was a reputation of the club.
Right.
He wanted all the players to kind of be professional, and he felt that it wasn't the right look, and I shaved it off. We were playing at Wembley as well, so he kind of had a point.
And now, Amelia Clark, in terms of being recognised out and about, you, I would have thought, are in a lovely position, because you're in the biggest show on the planet, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But presumably people don't recognise you because you look so different. I mean, that's you in the show.
So very different. Yeah, that's me. That's me. Yeah.
You're that one.
Yeah.
Oh, OK.
The blonde one, yeah.
Yeah. Because what's your name? You Khaleesi, you are.
Yes.
Okay.
Which I'm now turning around to quicker than I am Amelia, which is silly.
And does it freak you out if somebody knows your face that well that they can...
And then says, I'm sorry, what's your name? Yeah. That's not good. Yeah.
Cara Delevingne, I don't think I've ever had the opportunity before to discuss in depth eyebrows. But, I mean, they're your signature thing.
I know.
The eyebrows.
These ones are they're the ones that do all the work.
They're it.
I just sit and wait for them to do things.
So you've got your eyebrows. Jake, you've worked very hard at those eyebrows.
I grew into them over time.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I mean, I really did. I mean, I really did.
I mean,
They've come of age.
And there are pictures of me at 11 years old. It was eyebrows. Like arms and legs and eyebrows. And now I feel like maybe I've grown into them. Maybe.
And Amelia, didn't your mother give you a pep talk, an eyebrow pep talk?
Yeah, don't touch him. That was the pep
That's
talk.
exactly what my mother did.
Never
She was
pluck
like,
them.
if you ever touch them, they
Exactly.
are your best feature. I was like,
Yeah, mild
nice.
bullying at school.
Mild.
Worth it. Totally worth
Mild.
it. Yeah.
My mother was like, your eyebrows are big. Waxed it off. That's not my son.
I don't know him.
Well, now, Arnie, I know you've judged bodybuilding
He's
competitions.
got good brows too.
Yes, he does.
But I did not work on my
And
eyebrow.
so do you, Greg.
No.
might I say.
But Arnold, like, we have eyebrows, but you have eyebrows. Eyebrows.
Right.
So, Arnie, I'd like you to judge who has the best eyebrows now, as we have a little eyebrow off. Now, we're basically looking for precision movement, rhythm, and definition.
Wow.
So, if you all start flexing, Cara, you're going to be on first. Here we go. Music.
Flexing.
Oh, no.
Very good. Excellent work. Excellent
my
work.
nose goes at the
Keep
same
going, because
time.
we don't know who it's going to next. Oh, it's you. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Take that, Cara Delevingne. I love that you're actually talking about it.
Absolutely.
But they're not competitive. They're not competitive.
Stop carrying on. You want one of mine?
Amazing,
Can I have
huh?
one of yours?
Could you pick a winner?
The
Could you
performance.
pick a winner?
I mean, I'm not saying anything, but we are in a movie together. So. I'm just going to put that one out there.
She so wants to win.
Yeah.
Do you want to win?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she's the best. Then.
Very good. Okay, your films have grossed almost $6 billion worldwide. That's a lot of money. So, I suppose here comes a question. When was the last time...
How much of it did I get?
Well, there's that. I'm interested in that, but... no, I was wondering, when was the last time you walked in somewhere and people just kind of went, hello, how may I help you? I mean, are there countries you can go to where they don't know who you are?
Yeah.
But where?
England.
Admittedly, in England, no one says, how may I help you? But that's just because everyone in every shop here is so rude.
Well, have you walked through Britain unmolested?
No, but I've taken a canal boat through Britain and not been noticed or you know, run into anybody looking.
Was that by choice? Was that a holiday, or...?
Yeah, you've never done it, have you?
No.
It's quite good.
How would it be accidental? Like, you hail a cab and then you're like, oh, no, this is a canal boat, I've done it again.
It could have been for a very dull television series about, you know, Harrison canals.
Yes.
But was it not a bit boring?
Yes.
But you like that?
That's what I like.
After the hurly-burly.
When people come up to me and say, are you Harrison Ford? My usual answer is, I used to be. It takes a while for them to figure it out.
By that time, you've pushed them in the canal.
But was it very cool being a dad? Like, you must have trounced every other father at the school gate. Because, you know, you were Han Solo, you were Indiana Jones. I mean, how amazing that that's your dad.
But frankly, my kids could give a shit. And would not deign to be friends with anybody who did care.
Oh, really?
No. But the first part's absolutely true. They've never really cared that much about it because they're growing up in the, you know, in the sausage factory. My wife is an actress. I'm an actress. It just doesn't. It doesn't really matter to my kids.
Yeah. So, your films have earned $6 billion, a lot of people will be resting on the laurels, but you are working as hard as ever. Your latest film, Ender's Game, we'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah.
And I just wondered, that work ethic, does that come from the fact that at the other end of your
it comes
career...
from the fact that I spent it all. And I still have to go to work. No, I like to work. I love working. I can't imagine what I would, you know, what I'd do all day long if I didn't work occasionally.
And famously, obviously, you were a carpenter when you started out.
I started out as an actor, and I became a carpenter because I didn't like the kind of work I was.
So do you still do carpentry? Do you still?
Not so much. Not so much.
Good, and that's the important thing. Like so many Ponzi actors, you see, like, you know, they go and maybe after filming, they're like, oh, I need to go home and have a bath and maybe read some poetry to unwind. Like Harrison, when the director shouts cut, probably opens a can of beer, then builds a fucking shed.
Will Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Not just the first rap artist to win a Grammy, also twice Oscar nominated. You are one of those rare things. You are an incredibly bankable star. It's a phenomenal record. I think almost every movie you've made has taken in excess of $100 million. I think there's only two. It's incredible. That's good. Obviously, you'd been a very successful music artist, you'd been a successful actor, but then Independence Day took it all to kind of a different level. That must have been amazing for you, for your family, your parents.
Yes,
to see,
that was the first movie. Independence Day came out and broke all of these box office records, and it was huge. And I remember that Monday morning, I was in Los Angeles, and my family was in Philadelphia. So, you know, it was 6 a.m. in Philadelphia and 3 a.m. in Los Angeles. And my father calls me, you know, hey, hello. And he said, man, you see these numbers? I said, man, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I didn't say anything. He said, man, remember when I told you there's no such thing as luck? I was like, yeah, Dad. Remember when I told you there's no such thing as luck? It's only what you make. Dad, yes, I remember. Remember when I told you you put your mind to it? It ain't no luck. It's what you create. I said, yeah, Dad, I remember. He said, man, that's bullshit. You the luckiest motherfucker.
There's been quite a lot of royal encounters on the couch, because, Kate, you met Prince Philip.
No, well, I was invited round for lunch a while ago, and I couldn't quite work out why, and I thought it must have been the fact that I'd played her ancestor, the other Elizabeth. And I went, and there was the head of the fire brigade and a neurologist, this world-famous neurologist, and I thought, well, what's the common denominator? And it is a very odd thing to be eating off crockery that says ER2. But anyway, so you get over that, and I sat next to him, and he said, and what do you do? And I said, well, I'm an actor. And he said, well, I was given a DVD player for Christmas, and I can't work out, do I put the yellow... I tried to be of some use.
I like saying the Sir Patrick Stewart.
Say it.
Sir Patrick Stewart. But it's quite new. It must still sound lovely to you, because it's only, what was it, June 2010 it happened?
Yes.
And did the Queen, I mean, was she a fan of X-Men or Star Trek or anything?
We didn't go there.
No.
But she was very, very pleasant. What was extraordinary, and I'd like to attend one of these ceremonies again sometime to see what happens, because there's a little thing you kneel down on, and fortunately a little hand grip to hold on to get down and up without falling over, because that's the only fear you have, because there's one point you have to walk backwards. The fear is you'll fall over.
Yes.
And there she was in front of me, and I knelt down, I looked up, and there was this sword in her hand, and I don't know where it came from. She didn't have it moments earlier, and then there it was. It was like the saber, the lightsaber.
Well, it's like Wolverine. She just goes...
But that may be all part of the royal prerogative, that they have these skills that we know nothing about.
But looking at that picture, she seems... I mean, no, I'm sure she's very safe, but she seems quite elderly to be in charge of a heavy sword. If she fell off that step, just...
Look...
great way to go.
If you want to go. She was on her feet for over an hour and spoke personally, privately with each individual that went up there. And it was an extraordinary performance and full of style and elegance. And
Great. Talking of accents, this is a weird thing. So, Chris Pratt, this seems so unlikely that you have now learned how to do the voices from Towie.
Yeah, sort of, yeah. Well,
How is that possible?
We love that garbage TV back in the States. My wife was crazy about it, and when I was here filming Guardians, we shot Guardians of the Galaxy here in London, and my wife, Anna, came out to visit, and she fell in love with this show, Towie, The Only Way is Essex. It's this show that's like basically their Jersey Shore. It's the Jersey Shore from here. It's like this town somewhere, Essex, I guess, and these folks are just like the worst. And it was like, I'm a parrot a little bit, and so when I hear it all the time, I just started picking it up and started like I could pick up their accent and do their accent a little bit. Yeah, I'm okay. This is really embarrassing to do in front of a whole room full of Brits here, but I'll try it anyways. So it's like, honestly, I saw this guy. Honestly, did Michael cheat on me when he was in a beefer? And I was like, because he was telling me, he's like, I miss you or whatever, and I'm like, you miss me? What am I, your mother? That's the only accent I can do.
That will never be useful. Never be useful. But that's very good.
Now I want to watch the show.
It's good.
I love the fact that you spent months in England and that's what you talk about.
Culture. Can you do Cockney?
Go on, Anne, give it a go, babe.
All right, love, you want me to give it a go?
Yeah.
I actually have a story, and I think it's a Cockney accent, I'm not sure. When we were filming Batman, there was this one day we were filming in central London, and Christian was walking to set, and there were these two boys, and they're sitting there, and they're staring at him, and one of them goes, "Oi! You Batman!" And the other one goes, "No, he's not Batman. Look at his teeth."
Whatever that means. Movies like this is, often you talk to actors who've been in a huge, big science fiction thing, and they talk about how boring it was, green screen, and but Christopher Nolan, it sounds like he made this quite real.
Yeah, no green screen.
No green screen.
At all.
There's zero gravity in it. So what is, because some movies, they do it in different ways. So how do they achieve it on this?
There's a few different ways. I mean, sometimes we were on a wire 80 feet in the air. Other times you were on the end of a gimbal like a seesaw. And other times, I know you. Can you show your one-leg move?
Yeah. Sometimes it was very high-tech. I would stand on one leg.
Now,
and sort of float around.
I hear you're very good at it. Can you show us?
Are you sure? I mean, it's very difficult.
Yeah, no, let's see it. We'll put some music on. Put some music on.
Make some room, make some room.
Oh, here she goes.
Wow.
That's very good.
He does that for 2.5 hours.
Wow.
You don't really need to see it now.
That's the gist of the film.
Yeah, we sort of spoiled it.
Yeah, there's actually a very dramatic moment between me and Matthew. I was like a clutch emotional moment between us. I'm standing on one leg, just sort of like pretending like my head's hitting the ceiling.
Wow.
Oh, that sounded really rude.
Now we're going to watch a clip. The movie opens next Friday all across the country. It's very. I smell wet concrete because you. No, you literally, was it just a couple of days ago?
Yeah, I think it was like day before yesterday.
Hollywood Boulevard.
Right.
This is yes, because this is the real honor, isn't it? Because anybody can get the star, can't they?
Really?
I've walked down there. I didn't know half those people.
Yes, I guess the hands and feet is reserved for the those who are truly deserving, such as myself.
But it must be a big, for you. You grew up there. I mean, it must be amazing that there you are.
Yeah, it was kind of a big deal. It was also raining, which was nice. First time it ever rained. And then I came here, and the skies were blue, so everything's trippy.
Yes.
This is an entertaining show, isn't it?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
But.
I have high hopes.
But what's amazing, and it should give everyone hope, is that it took, like, you were not an overnight sensation. Like, it did take you a lot. Like, people would have given up, is what I'm saying.
I'm like a 30-year overnight sensation.
How many auditions do you think you did before you got a job?
Well, it's sort of been mythologized now, but it started with about 600.
Wow.
Most people, smart people, quit when it takes that long.
What was giving you hope?
I couldn't do anything else.
But you've done a lot of theatre, haven't you, over the years?
That's right.
Yeah. And sometimes incredibly convincing performances. Didn't you, like,
Sometimes more than others.
Yeah, didn't you, like, cross a line in it? Was it your fault that you crossed the line? Or was it somebody set you up?
Oh, you're talking about that.
Yes.
There was a play that I did that I had to, I smoked a joint in the first scene. And, of course, there was a very naughty young actor I was in the play with who, on the opening night with all the critics...
The opening night?
He slipped a real joint onto the prop table. And I'm out there, and I'm just... Now, when you're acting, you overdo everything. So when you're out at a party, you take 2 puffs and you say, okay, that's enough, I'm so stoned. But I was acting, and so I'm just like...
I'll save it.
I literally, between the two of us, we smoked a giant blunt on stage. And I'm like, man, I am in it tonight. I feel it. I'm on fire, man. I'm feeling it, and I... Why's that dude standing backstage laughing at me? And the kid who put the joint on the prop table is standing there going... And I just went... Oh, shit. And the girl that I was passing it to had never smoked pot in her life.
Oh, my God.
I had, up to that point, had smoked a lot of pot. So I know you haven't, and I know you haven't.
No, Barbs don't ever do drugs, okay? Love you too.
We interrupt this anecdote for a message.
Back to your regularly scheduled program.
Okay, yeah. Okay. We return
It was
to
the
Bob
worst
Ruffalo.
thing I ever did. Don't do it. But at the end of the play, I got the best reviews of my entire career.